what's up, y'all? As your mama them. Have you guys ever been on this, I don't know if it's 10 mile, 14 mile bridge in Louisiana on Interstate 10? I came through last week en route to Texas, and well, we're going back to Texas, but last week it's dark, so I didn't like it one bit. I love coming across this bridge, and this is why. Let me show you right here. Maybe they won't be no glare. Ain't too much glare. Just watching that water, looking for gators, little swamp puppies. Speaking of which, oh man, my battery died. My battery died. I did it again. I gotta change this battery. I've got, I don't know, probably 5 years out of this one battery, but I got backups. I decided to change it out. Anyway, speaking of swamp puppies, let's get back to that. Let's get to swamp puppies in a minute. So, I got some rolling clips from my phone when this died to show you some of the cool scenes and the scenery being on that bridge. And yeah, I really love traveling this way because of that right there. But back to swamp puppies. So I was down in Arcadia last week, actually right before New Year's. I delivered at the Walmart down there in Arcadia, Florida. And coming out of there, I hit the shoulder before you get back out on the road to do my paperwork and get my maps going to go to my next stop. What are y'all doing up here? And anyway, as I'm rolling up to a stop, I see this big boy right here. I can't stop or go on without getting a picture of this beauty. Yeah, good looking gator. Let's go. And I sent some pictures to the wife, and the wife was like, why don't you go down there and give it a kiss? Listen, guys, I'm not afraid of gators, but when they're big enough to put your head in their mouth, I'm gonna stay my ass in the truck. I ain't playing with it. I know as soon as I got out of the truck, it would have ran, so I just wasn't gonna try to, you know, do anything dumb. Anyway, I had to go anyway. And this boy, it might have been a girl. I'm not trying to, you know, assume. I didn't have anything, there's not really nothing in the picture to really compare it, but I was trying to visualize myself laying down next to it, and I'm 6'1", and I guarantee he was longer than I am. Anyway, biggest one I've seen so far in the wild. It was a really cool experience, but let's get on to the video of what I want to talk about. Sorry for the sidebar, I just thought it'd be cool to share. But guys, me and one of my buddies was talking the other day, and we was talking about the ELDs, and how we all have to be punished with the ELDs based on those that shouldn't be driving the truck, or they're rookies and they're just, you know, they make mistakes. You know, we all make mistakes. And also, you know, there's a third person in there, people that's, I guess, fall into the first category of shouldn't be driving trucks because they do stupid shit that they shouldn't do, like passing people in a safety corridor or construction zone when the lane's narrow and you got Jersey barriers up. That's one of my biggest pet peeves. I'm like, where do you got to go that's that important? And I don't like, listen, I'm all for people doing their own thing and minding their own business, but when somebody does that, it puts other people at risk as well. So I'm not worried about me, I'm worried about somebody else messing up and taking my truck out. So we're all penalized for people doing stuff like that. With all that being said, I've been driving a truck since 2000. The last moving violation I've got was in 2002. So we're talking 23 years ago. So I was talking to my buddy, and we was just talking about the ELD and how it shouldn't be this, shouldn't be that. We should be able to do a drive like this. The differences of how we drive when we was on paper versus how we do now on the ELD. I will say this, since the ELDs came out, I ran paper up to the last day to be legal. On paper, I would drive slower, take my time. On ELD, I've got to put the hammer down sometimes because of the clock. So I'm driving faster, and it's the faster you drive, the more unsafe you are. With all that being said, I've got a proposition that maybe somebody with some pull, maybe somebody that's got some smarts, somebody that's got means to bring this up. It's a good topic. Why don't we have a probationary period? And what I mean by that is this. In 2009, I went to college for HVACR. And my goal there was to get my diploma, get out of school. It's a 2.5-year program. At Tech College, get out of that, and start my own business in heating and air, possibly even doing commercial refrigeration. Within 6 months in school, I found out in the state of Georgia, you have to be in the industry for 5 years to start a business. And everybody that was on the panel to approve you was heating and air businesses. So it showed me right there, they've got a 5-year to business to have an LLC or have a legitimate business in this field to keep the competition down, keep their competition down. And what it makes sense to me is, why don't we have that in trucking? If you got, say, less than 5 years, hell, less than 2 years, yeah, be on this little tattletale box, punch your buttons, let it tell you what you can and can't do. But after you reach that 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, let that person be on paper. Let them, you know what I'm saying? Usually the people on paper is not causing all these problems. It's the people on the ELDs. And if you want a little backstory of ELDs, I'll give you a quick one. Back in the day, Swift, no, I shouldn't say Swift, it was Warner. Warner got put out of business by the FMCSA, and they came up with a plan to put their guys off of paper on ELDs. And that was the fix-all to keep them in business. Now, on paper, it looks better on ELDs at the time. I don't know what the stats are today, but one thing I know for sure is everybody that I know has been in the industry for 10, 15 plus years that ran on paper, and even the guys that got the pre-emission trucks that still run on paper, these are million and multi-million mile drivers that's safe drivers. And the statistics of people having incidents, accidents, driving too fast in snowy conditions, icy conditions, speeding by people in narrow lane constructions and stuff like that are not these people. It's the people that are on ELDs and the people that shouldn't be driving a truck. Come on now. But just say, and I was talking to another one of my buddies about it, and he said, yeah, but it'd be hard to regulate. I said, how? They've got exemptions on the license now. Some people can't drive a manual because it's not, they didn't pass their CDL test, driving test, with a manual, so they're limited to an automatic. Now, if said driver gets pulled over, gets a DOT inspection, and he's driving a manual, and he's restricted on his license, guess what? He's probably going to get, I don't know, shut out of service, probably can't drive the truck, and he's going to get a fine. I don't know, because I drive a manual, I ain't got to worry about that. But just say somebody gets 5 years in the industry, safe driving miles, maybe a ticket or two, you know, have a level of, you know, CSA points you got to stay under, no accidents, and you get to that point, you can be on paper. But if you get out there acting a fool and you have an accident, or you get, you know, rack up a couple movement violations, and say you get to X amount of set CSA points, now you got to go back on, be limited. Now you got to go back to your ELD. You can't run paper no more. I don't know, guys. I just feel like it's not fair to us professional truck drivers that take pride and passion in what they do, and they do it well, and then we're penalized for people that don't do it so well. It's like, you know, it's kind of like fighters, man. Somebody that's got, you know, 15 years in the boxing ring, age 5 versus a 20, you know, age 5 to 20 years old. He's got 15 years in the field. He's good. He's been training, and he fights another 21-year-old that's been boxing for a week. Who you think's going to win the fight? That's my point I'm trying to make. So, I don't know, it just makes sense. Let me know what you think in the comments. I've got another idea about a video about this ELD thing. See if we can, you know, raise some awareness to it. And maybe we can find somebody in Washington, D.C. to lobby for us. Anyway, if you're interested in this and you're curious about what idea I've got to get a lobbyist in Washington, D.C., hit that subscribe button and don't forget to hit that bell so you will get that video on that next one. And until that next video, guys, remember, if it don't make sense, it don't make dollars. See you, bye.